I'm honored. Thank you, Lynn. I get to do a lot of things, get a lot of awards, get a lot of accolades, receive a lot of thanks, but nothing is as so special as being able to be here today with you and talk about Coach. I'm honored to be here to help celebrate his life. When Pat called me, told me what was going to happen, and then called me and told me that he'd been with him, it took me a while to be able to sit down at my desk, and no one ever accused me of being shy or unable to speak or make my feelings known, but it took me a bit to put together that little letter I wrote. And it was Tim talking. It was Coach talking, because he did say he was just a ball coach. But that's a whole mouthful of stuff, as I wrote. I hope you all got to read that. But he was so much more. Celebrating his life, we don't have enough time. I had the distinct pleasure and privilege of being with Tim celebrating in Paris, in Spain, in Germany, in England, because we've done a whole host of games, and a lot of you were with us for those. And I wouldn't have done any one of them without Tim. He was so much more than a coach, but a coach is an awful good thing to be. We're in Paris. I'm supposed to be some marketing guy. I'm supposed to know what I'm doing and putting these games on. But it was Coach who came up with the idea. We've got a guy, he had a player named George in France. To have George come out with a tricolor, duh. That was Coach's idea. He did those things. He says, let's do whatever we need to do because we need to expose our game to everybody. A little short of 30 years I could coach. Jim Foster created this game, but Tim breathed life into it. With him and Mouse Davis, Jerry Price, Ray Gott, others, many of you in the room, made our game what it is. You talk about people who were difference makers. Tim was a difference maker. And Tim was a character. But our character. And that meant so much to us. He had opportunities and he did do a lot of other things, but this is what he cared about. This is what he wanted to do. This is what he loved. And he instilled that into a lot of us. Because most of us that came to this game, came to this league, were outdoor players. That's what we do. But he convinced us that Jim was right. That this is a great game. That our fans are tremendous. I love reading online many of the comments by our fans. The time that Tim took after a game, win or lose, he didn't lose that many. But he'd speak to them. And many of them spoke about how, even though it was only a few minutes, it seemed like they had known him forever because he took the time to share with them his passion. Shared it with me, shared it with everybody in this room, and so many others. The effect that he had on me, as well as everybody in this room and many who could not be here, is tremendous. A bunch of us from the league office, we were in Indianapolis right before this for the coaches convention. And that organization, tens of thousands strong, is run by his college coach. And they surely and sorely missed him. And I told him I was leaving to come to a celebration of life. And they were pleased about that. Because that's what Coach would want. Yes, he would. And as others have spoken, what you saw with Tim is what you got. And we were so lucky to be able to see it and get it. He made a difference, as I said. He touched us. He had an effect on us. And we've got to remember what he wanted us to know. That all his accomplishments on the fields were great and tremendous, and they'll always be remembered. But he was the same off the field. Whether he was yelling at us, and he yelled at me a bunch. But he also called me to pick me up and get me off the ledge many times. Because he knew when other people needed someone, he could be that person. And I don't think that I enough, well, probably not many of us, did enough back for Tim. But he was there for us, a hard charger. He lived his life like that. but he shared that with us. We'll never forget him. He's going to be remembered. We're going to wear on the back of all our players' helmet because every player, fan, coach, official, I love some of the clips of him with the officials, especially when Tim would remind them that he helped write the rules of the game so that he knew them better than everybody. He told me that often for me too. It's okay. But we're going to wear, all our players are honored to wear TM sticker on the back of the helmet. All our coaches, staff, office personnel, everybody be wearing the TM pin. We're going to start our season with a moment of celebration, not a moment of silence. But across the league, at every game, we're going to have a moment of celebration, going to fashion with what we're doing here today. And that's how we're going to remember him. In addition, our owners don't know it yet, so I'll lead with my chin. I'll take a page from Tim's book. You do what's right. We give out an annual Coaches Award. It's an important thing. I'm announcing today, BJ Picard from the office is here, and he's going to put it out on the web right away, is that is an award that's going to have two names on it. Two storied coaches. And I have been in meetings and discussions, phone and in person, when Coach and Perry Moss went at each other, time and time again. But both had the drive, the passion that we all want to have and wish we had. So our Coaches Award is named after Tim and Perry from now on. Appreciate everybody being here, but it's important that we take the lessons that Coach taught us and we continue to live by them. Thank you again, Lynn, for allowing me to be here and remembering Coach.